Good morning, students. Our four portions have been completed. Now we are going to revise history once again. What all till now we have studied. Okay? Fourth chapter, the Turkish invention and the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. In this, important points are two Turkish who ruled our India and established Delhi Sultan is Muhammad Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. Okay, they were two Turkish who established Delhi Sultan. He invented, means he ruled our country more than 17 times. He invented means he robbed. When he was ruling our country, 17 times he robbed our precious treasure and most precious monuments. In the course of 25 years, means in 25 years only he has robbed so many treasures and monuments from our country, valuable things. Okay, the Somnatha temple was plundered repeatedly by invaders for its fabulous rich. Main in Somnatha temple they used to rob again and again for the means rob and demolish that Somnatha temple many times. Okay, for its fabulous riches, means it was fabulous treasures in Somnatha temple. Okay, it was rebuilt several times. Somnatha temple was demolished again and again, they were rebuilding it. Okay, Muhammad Ghori attacked Prithviraj Chauhan in Battle of First Tehran. Means what happened in First Tehran? Muhammad Ghori attacked Prithviraj Chauhan. Okay, and Mamluks. The period between it is known as the period of Delhi Sultan because the rulers were known as sultanates. They ruled from their capital city Delhi. Means Mamluks were like they were Muslim kings. So here comes all Muslim rulers. Okay. First in Mamluks king comes is Qutbuddin Aibak. What all Qutbuddin Aibak did? You all know when I was explaining the chapter. Okay, and Qutbuddin Aibak was known as Lakshya Baksh. Okay, then he built two mosques in Delhi, Ajmer and Qutub Minar. But Qutub Minar was incomplete. It was completed by Iltutmish. Okay, Iltutmish completed the Qutub Minar. Okay, he was son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak. Then Razia Sultan. She was a great woman ruler, but she didn't able to rule the country due to she was a girl. In those days, as you know, other peoples were not giving empower to women. They were thinking girls were weak and boys were strong. So Razia Sultan was not able to rule the country so long. So she got married to a king, and she tried to help the country. Okay. Then Ghiyasuddin Balban. He is a divine king who was worshipping God in respective manner. Okay. Balban never smiled. He don't know to laugh or smile also. In his kingdom also, no one used to laugh or enjoy. Okay. They touch the ground where forehead to show their respect. Means he was thinking that everyone should keep their forehead down and give respect to him. Never people seen him by taking his head up. Okay, this was the in fourth chapter. Now in fifth chapter, expansion of Delhi Sultan. How did the Delhi Sultan expand? Okay, in the Khilji dynasty and Tughlaq dynasty. Khilji dynasty first comes. In that, Alauddin Khilji. He was most cruelest person, but he was too brilliant and he had a dream that he should conquer whole India, whole world. Actually, not only India. He was having a lots of dream like he should rule whole world. See how he was. Malik Kafur, a slave who bought for 1,000 means, as before you all know that Malik Kafur was a soldier, like he became position of general in Alauddin army because he killed 1,000 armies in the war. Okay. Next, Tughlaq dynasty. In Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoza Shah Tughlaq, and the Sayyid and Lodi dynasties. See, in Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was a son of Turkish, okay, but he was not so successful. He accidentally died by some reason, okay. Then Muhammad bin Tughlaq comes. He was a great scholar and he was most intellectual, curiosity and thirsty for knowledges. Okay, he had an extraordinary memory power. He was mastered in logic, philosophy and mathematics, astronomy and physical science. He was so brilliant, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, but he was so cruelest person. Means why he was so cruelest means he was putting more taxation on farmers, on peasants, land taxes and capital taxes, token currency, expansion of schemes. Schemes were expanded, but proper benefits peasants didn't get. In period of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, peasants suffered a lot. But in Firoza Shah Tughlaq, peasants enjoyed their work of agriculture, because Firoz Shah helped peasants a lot, and he reduced taxations, and he brought public utility measures, economic reformers, judicial reforms, pattern of architectures and learnings, foreign policies. Like this, many schemes, many reformation he brought in his period. And Firoz Shah was peace loving person. Okay, next comes the Sayyid and Tughlaq dynasty. Khazir Khan was the first ruler of the Sayyid dynasty. Okay, and Lodi dynasty, Sikandar Lodi. Sikandar Lodi was the first ruler of it. He was not so popular, but first battle of Panipat, Ibrahim Lodi was killed. Okay, means in Lodi dynasty Babur came, then Ibrahim Lodi came, but in first battle of Panipat everyone were killed. A comparative study of the Khilji and Tughlaq dynasty. Alauddin Khilji was the first Delhi Sultan to build a empire in India. Okay. Then Alauddin built a strong defense system to protect his empire from the Mughals. Then Muhammad bin Tughlaq, on the other hand, shifted his capital from Delhi to far away Daulatbad or Devagiri, and Alauddin didn't know how to read and write, but he proved to brilliant military general and screw fast sight and efficient rulers. Okay, the ambitious dream of establishing a world empire was nurtured by both Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Nurtured means it was so shocking rule that Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq did in this Delhi Sultanate. Okay, in this dynasty, because these two, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, so much strategies they were used and killed many armies, many kings, and they bought their positions to rule this country. Okay, so this is all about third chapter. Now, fifth chapter. Now we will see sixth chapter, life under Delhi Sultanate. How was the life under Delhi Sultanate? Social and cultural life, society, aristocracy, the society, and means in society what all it came: aristocracy, peasants, town dwellers, and priest. These people, aristocracy means the people who are nobles, Hindu rajas and princes and landlords, who were richest and powerful people in this society. Means they were rich in their lifestyle, money, wealth, power, in everything they were rich. Okay, peasants. As you know, peasants, who are peasants? Who do pujas in temples. But especially only some peasants are eligible for doing pujas in the temples. In that, Brahmins were the most honored for doing pujas in the temple. Okay, town dwellers are people who artisans, craft people, merchants, slave and domestic servants. These were the town dwellers, peasants. Our farmers who were hard workers and who were suffering from poverty. In those days also farmers were suffering, and nowadays also farmers are suffering. So next comes architecture. In architecture, Arabic and Persian styles were used. Whatever the means in Delhi Sultan, the monuments or temples, whatever they were using, building, it was in Arabic and Persian style. Okay, musics were like North Indian or Hindustani music. Okay, like this musics only they were using. The famous Persian poet was Amir Kasur. He is believed to have invented the sitara. Means Amir Kasur invented sitara by combining the South Indian veena with the Persian tambura. He compared South Indian veena to Persian tambura, and South Indian drums was probably altered to create the tabla. Like this inventions all he did. Okay, then dance, Qawwali and Kathak, the Persian style of chorus singing known as Qawwali. It is not, Qawwali is not a dance, it is some type of singer, was popular by the Sufi saints, a group of music maestros who became popular during the period of this Delhi Sultan. Hence it was a devotional song. Okay, Kathak, next is Kathak, a new dance form that was also developed during this period. Okay, painting, miniature painting. The early Turkish ruler were not very interested about the paintings, but Rajputs brought miniature paintings, and Rajput paintings were influenced by Persian styles. Okay, in Lodi times, these paintings were mostly used. Then other cultures means like peoples used to wear dresses in the form of Hindus and Muslims wore pajamas and kurtis, and kaftan and salwar kameez, these type of dresses only on those time they were wearing. Okay, then foods, in food biryani and bread and wine was the most favorite and famous food in Indian cuisine. Okay, these are the other type of cultures, and Sanskrit and Persians became official languages for many regions. Okay, so next comes 7th chapter, rise of Vijayanagara and Bahmani kingdoms. Actually recently only we completed this chapter. Vijayanagara Empire kingdom was most, means as you know, like from Delhi many kings came, and they were not able to see that Deccan area. Vijayanagar kingdom comes under Deccan area. Vijayanagar kingdom and Bahmani kingdom were more united, and peoples were so unity, they had an unity. So from Delhi, our Delhi Sultanate kings were ready to come to this Vijayanagar kingdom. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was idea of it. Okay, but it was not so successful. Our Vijayanagar kingdom was ruled more than 200 years. More than 200 years it was ruled. Okay. Vijayanagar kingdom was established by two brothers, Harihara I and Bukkaraya II. Bukkaraya I. Okay, these are two brothers who established our Vijayanagar kingdom. After that, in that the famous established two brothers only, but the main famous king who made many achievements is Krishna Devaraya. He was the famous king and most powerful king and most strongest military power he had, and he was a brilliant and outstanding king. He used to make each and every plans according to how the enemies react and how can enemies plan. He used to think, and against it he used to make his administration, his military power, his economic power, everything he used to build it strongly and improve it very carefully. Okay, in that administration he made most powerful administration. He bought many councils and ministers, he assisted them. Okay, and economic conditions he improved in society. Everyone he made to ancient Vedic customs, and women in general were respected but did not enjoy much freedom. Child marriage and sati were common practices in those period. Some upper classes women, however, occupied high position in society and participated in social literature and even political life. Who were rich women, they were having good lifestyle, rich lifestyles. Okay, religions tolerance. The Vijayanagar were the stunned Hindus, but they were tolerant and liberal in their outlook. Means they were independent. Okay. Capital city. Hampi was the capital city of Vijayanagara kingdom. Okay. There had outstanding gardens, lakes, and missions and temples in Hampi. Everyone wore jewelries and diamonds in crowded bazaars. Okay, literature and art and architecture. It was renowned a strong fort, cities, magnificent, beautiful temples. Means they had a most beautiful temples. In that famous is Vitala Swami temple and Virupaksha temple and Hazar Rama temple. These are the most famous architecture in the Vijayanagar kingdom. Next is Bahmani kingdom. Bahmani kingdom was established by Alauddin Hasan. Okay, but he was killed by Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So after that they had lots of war, and kingdom lasted for about 2 centuries. It was ruled by 18 Bahmani kingdoms. It was often rocked by political tournaments and murders. And so much after 2 centuries, till 2 centuries, there were no strong ruler in Bahmani kingdom. But after that, Muhammad Gawan came, who was powerful and heightened leadership. He maintained a good leadership. Okay, he was a successful general. He greatly extended the boundaries of the kingdom. Means he extended his kingdom very largely and ported off Goa from the Vijayanagar kingdom. He also recaptured important port of Goa from Vijayanagar kingdom also. And achievements of Bahmani kingdom was administration. The king of all powers, but it practiced the autocratic and absolute authority of the king depended on the strength of his army. Means on the strength of the army only the administration was running. Okay, so in Bahmani kingdom only administration, like armies were very powerful. Okay, and in architectures, Gulbarga and Bidar, madrasas and libraries were built for studies. In Bahmani time, it was most importance they were giving for educations. Okay, then Gol Gumbas were the most famous architecture in Bahmani kingdom. Okay, most of the monuments were built in the round of domes. Okay, in Bahmani kingdom. Abdur Raza was a Persian traveler who visited the Vijayanagar kingdom in 15th century. Okay, Raichur Dhobe was the fertile area lying between river Krishna and river Tungabhadra. Okay, so for means we have completed our revision of 4 chapters, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. You also revise it once and study for the exam properly. All the best for everyone. Thank you.